support an incredibly important cause with my time and money. Thank you so much, Voligen.
Wow. Wow.
And
Thank
with
you
that,
so much, Voligen, for that donation. And we're going to be getting this kicked off pretty soon. Real quick, top left, Sigmasin, top right, Hydra SR, bottom left, Voligen, and bottom right, Terra on your screens. We'll be referring to those as much as we can throughout the race. Let's get going. And here we go with the countdown on go. On 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
All right, and welcome everyone to Ori and the Blind Forest Definitive Edition. This game is a Metroidvania platformer originally released in 2015 with the DE edition a year later. Today we will be running the all skills, no out of bounds, no teleport anywhere category in which our runners will be collecting a total of 11 skills throughout the world. Like any Metroidvania, we will start pretty limited with only the abilities to run and jump.
Yeah, and so in this speed run, we're going to see our runners collect some resources, and we consider 3 primary resources. The first one's going to be health, and then the next one is going to be energy as they pick up this energy cell, which is going to increase their maximum amount of energy, allowing them to save more and use some abilities. But also we consider experience as a resource as well.
Yeah, and the next thing you might notice that there's no user interface anywhere on the screen. This is intentional by the runners. There's a toggle for them to be able to turn the user interface off in order to avoid any text boxes throughout the game from popping up. So you'll see them check it on and off every now and then to check their health and their energy and stuff like that. But for the most part, you actually won't be seeing any user interface. Now we've picked up our first buddy, Sign.
Yeah, and so Sign is going to be the first skill that we're collecting throughout this run, and it's going to allow us to primary attack all of these Frankies. It just auto-locks on them, but there's some optimized pacing that we can do with that. But there you saw those Frankies drop some golden globes, and those are experience. However, we're going to skip those for now, as we're going to collect a very specific amount of experience throughout for a timed level up later on.
Yeah, that experience is incredibly well routed throughout the entire run. Important to note real quick that there was a little bit of a variation with the prologue skip at the beginning, so it looks like Hydra's in the lead in the top right, then Terra bottom right, Sigma top left, and Voligen bottom left.
So coming up next is another important resource in the game known as a keystone. Keystones are used to open keystone doors, and for this first one we will require 2. We'll be picking up one here and then another one shortly after. Also very important to note that our runners are taking a handful of pieces of intentional damage. They start with 3 health and are ideally going to get down to 1, because in a moment when we open the door, we're going to take an intentional death to skip the door opening animation, because we would rather die than watch a door open.
Yeah, and here we go. Hydra's the first one. Here he goes into the water. He actually had 2 health, so it's going to cause him to die a little bit slower, but he got through there. Terra catching up a tiny bit of time there, and Voligen and Sigma as well. Now up next, they're coming up to the 4th health cell. They start with 3, and this is the 4th one. They're actually going to be picking up 5 throughout the entire run, but for now, the 4th is just kind of for safety, and it doesn't lose them much time early on. We'll get more into what the health, the reason for the long health is later.
Yeah, and so here we go. Looks like Hydra taking a little bit of a lead. He's going to come over here and collect another keystone that we're going to be using a little bit later on. However, if you look into the bottom right-hand corner of the screen at Terra, we're going to see him take an intentional time to level up as he's going to be heading down. Also, some of our other runners might do this as well, but the thing you want to look for is a giant explosion, and that giant explosion is going to clear a bunch of spores after we collect our next skill and have to backtrack through the area.
Right, so as Muffin mentioned, we'll be seeing Terra level up on the way down. It doesn't really lose any time to level up on the way up either, so you'll get to see that again, and we'll talk more about leveling up shortly. We're quickly approaching the second after Sign, skill of the game, known as wall jump. Many, not all, but most of the skills will be achieved from skill trees. This first one is known as wall jump, which adds some much needed verticality to the run, where we can just wall jump infinitely up vertical walls.
Yeah, and skill trees also refill your health and energy, so now they've got that. The next thing Hydra's going to be doing in the top right is moving up to grab his second energy cell, and the second energy cell is used especially for a sequence break coming up, and on top of that, they use energy for saving and also in addition to some abilities later on, or for some abilities later on to gain some speed.
Yeah, absolutely. And so here we go. We're going to see Hydra working his way up, takes the level up. That giant explosion blowing up everything around him is going to allow him to get through, pick up a little extra experience, which is going to set us up for a next intentional level up. That being said, though, every time you level up, refills health and energy, as well as gets us an ability point, as we will see at the upcoming waypoint.
Yeah, the race is very close right now. It seems like Vuligin has actually caught his way up and is now in second place. Hydra's still taking that lead right now. Sigma and Terra are fighting for third. It's actually very close between all three of the runners near second place. Now, another thing that's kind of interesting about experience in this game is it doesn't give you a stat boost per se. It actually helps you level up abilities, but we got a very interesting trick coming here.
We do. So the next area coming up, when you enter it, there's a cutscene that plays, and that cutscene is unskippable, or at least it's supposed to be unskippable. We can use a very important menu manipulation trick, though, known as Save Anywhere. In a moment, you're going to see Vuligin approach this save point. We actually see Hydra doing it first. He will be moving around in the background with his ability menu open. What that's going to allow him to do is walk into the cutscene. The moment it triggers, he will spend a point, exit, and reload, which is going to skip the cutscene.
Yeah, and normally we cannot move this ability menu open, so it's really awesome that we can just carry that through, spend the ability point to save the game, and skip that cutscene. But now, we are in Blackroot's Burrows, which is a definitive edition area of the map. That being said, this area is really spooky because it's dark and it can be very difficult to platform in these narrow parts. Also, all these spikes and lasers that we're going to see upcoming deal a bunch of damage. And so it's going to be very scary as our runners move through this area.
And one of the interesting things that you're going to see in this area is you're going to see some of the runners going for the slime genocide experience route, where they're going to be killing a lot of slimes along the way and picking up experience, whereas other runners are going to opt not to do that and have to take a pit stop for this experience, or that you're going to see Vuligin in the bottom left grabbing now.
So another very important point about Blackroot Burrows is that it is very cycle-based, and those cycles tend to start the moment that you enter. So
Hydra took a death to the lasers on the top right. He did take a safety save along the way, but that's going to push him into third place at the moment, possibly almost in fourth even, so that's going to be scary for him to come back for.
Yeah, and there we go. We see Sigma and Terra now working through the lasers. They make it through, and now these platforms are on a very specific cycle. It looks like our runners are going to be able to make it up these platforms. So upcoming here, we might see Sigma in the top left and Terra in the bottom right pause for a little bit in order to manipulate the cycle of the platforms in the next room. But let's see. Sigma has to pick up some experience and be able to still make that platform cycle.
Yes, he's going to be shooting as quickly as he can to get that experience. He didn't get the full experience, and he took some damage, so it's a little scary. Hopefully he can still make the next platform. We'll be seeing his first attempt now. He's going to be walking to the right here in the top left of your screen, and he did make his platform, but he is down a little bit of experience, so he might have to grab some backup.
Right, so missing one of those cycles costs about 8 seconds. We'll see how it goes for our other runners. Shortly coming up for Sigma, we're going to see him grabbing a lever, which is going to allow him to lift the darkness. Is something we alluded to earlier, and I'll let Hobbs take it from here.
Yeah, all of our runners made those cycles, by the way, so no 8-second time losses here. But yeah, the orb that they are going to put on this pedestal is going to lift the darkness from the area, which is going to unlock the next skill that we're going to pick up. And in order to lift that darkness, they're also going to skip the cutscene associated with it via another Save Anywhere trick to save in the middle of the cutscene.
So coming up very shortly here is our third skill of the run, known as Dash. You'll get to see it very shortly after Sigma skips his cutscene. The others doing the same. He'll be exiting and reloading before entering the tree. Now, this is an important time to point out the distinction between Definitive Edition and Vanilla. DE, as opposed to Vanilla, contains a few new areas along with, more importantly, 2 additional skills. The first one here being Dash. You'll get to see it in action momentarily as Sigma is going to get to zoom very, very quickly along the ground. Dash is so fast that despite DE containing 2 additional skills, the DE all skills run is significantly faster than the Vanilla version.
Yeah, really incredible here that we see this race being so close. It looks like Sigma is going to be holding first place as he's traveling through, but he has to pick up some extra experience. So Vuligin is actually going to be moving on to the next area first. And so up here, we're going to see Vuligin in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen going to be coming over here, and then he's going to punch this Frankie. And this Frankie has a chair, so this is going to be a little bit spooky, but don't worry, these are trained speedrunners.
Vuligin had a bit of a hiccup with the Frankie there, so now Terra's taking the lead, and Hydra is actually ahead of, I think Vuligin actually slipped into fourth there, so all of our runners very close right now.
Yeah, and so now we're going to see our runners take the Frankie over and try and do an intentional level up. If they can do this, they're going to be opening this 4 energy door, because right now they have a maximum energy of 2. So put 2 energy in, level up, boom, 4 energy, doors open.
And now the death gauntlet begins because Terra has no energy, which means he can't take any safety saves, and he has to immediately dunk himself into some poisonous water. He has to dodge that Frankie that's trying to do a cannonball.
No!
Terra died. He's all the way back to Dash. Hydra's now taking the lead in the top right, and he's going to be having to move on to the next energy cell. He really wants to pick this up so he can drop a safety save. Sigma and Vuligin are hair behind. Sigma falling a little bit. That's going to cause him to fall into third place. He takes a death as well. He luckily was able to make a safety save because he got a safety energy drop. Very lucky for him.
Meanwhile, Hydra making it down into Moon Grotto. Looks like Vuligin with a super quick death, but his safety save paying off. Now, Hydra right at the start here is going to do some very precise movement in order to try to sneak into these cycles, and he made it.
Wow.
Wonderful job. That trick saves about 8 seconds. Let's see if Vuljin can get his. Misses it. That's going to put him 8 seconds behind and solidify Hydra's lead.
All right, so now Sigma in the top left is also going to be going for this trick, but Sigma's going to have to wait as well as Terra does the Frankie walk again. And now Hydra's going to be heading down to double jump tree, where is going to be the next skill, which is going to get our runners a little bit of verticality, Hobbs.
Yeah, so they'll be grabbing double jump here, and at the same time, again, saving during a cutscene, but this time, they won't have control of the camera. It's going to remain on the tree. So the Hydra here has to do some blind movement on his way back out of this area, and that's going to save him quite a bit of time if he can do it well, and he is up the wall, so he is very nice and clear, and he's going to be making his way back out of Moon Grotto.
Wow, really nicely done from Hydra, who's currently in the lead. Sigma right at double jump tree, and Vuljin as well, as Terra makes his way back into Moon Grotto. Yep, okay, so Terra's gonna also be going for the God Cycle, so make sure you watch bottom right. But up here, Hydra now is going to be going over here in order to do a precise set of movements using this double jump feature in order to skip the left side of Moon Grotto. This jump can be really tricky, but yep, nice, he gets up there, and then he's gonna be moving up for some save anywheres in order to skip some cutscenes.
Right, so there's 2 quick cutscene skips we're going to do here. The first one actually prevents a bunch of boulders from spawning, so this whole area that you see Hydra in right now is supposed to be a difficult climbing section, quite a bit easier without boulders trying to murder you. There's going to be one more quick cutscene skip up top, which is going to bring us to a very important item.
Yeah, and that item is going to be the water vein, which is the key to the first dungeon, Ginso Tree. Hydra's going to be coming up to that in just a second. And we've actually gone through this area pretty much backwards so far. So after he picks up the water vein, we're going to see some interesting cutscenes where the Gummo still has the water vein. They're going to play out of order. With that, we have a few moments for some donations here, Railkin.
Yes.
I do have a $150 chicken donation from Chicken Supreme. Says, good luck to all the Ori runners. All that Strider practice last night should only make grenade jump timing easier, right? I also have $30 from Dazdin, who says, Ori in the Blind Forest is an amazing game. Good luck to all the runners. And an anonymous 1080 donation says, here's $10.80 for the 1080. Not the graphics card, the chair spin.
All right, we have time for one more donation.
All right, I have a $75 donation from Anonymous, who says, I have nothing clever to say.
Oh. All right, so we see Hydra picking up an ability cell in the top right. Who is going to get another ability point? And upcoming here, he's going to be activating the Thornfeld Swamp teleporter. So this is a waypoint where you can save the game, open the ability menu, but also this is going to be a fast travel location for our runners to be able to revisit. So every single time they activate a waypoint around the map, they're going to be able to fast travel back later on in the run. That's going to be very important.
Yeah, Hydra did that pretty well. He had a little bit of trouble getting out of there, but not too bad. I'm going to give you a quick race update, and then Grim, tell me about the Ginso tree. Hydra's still in first place in the top right. Vuljin, bottom left, is in second place. Sigma in the top left is in third place, and Terra, due to that early death, is still sitting in fourth now, but it's still anybody's game.
Right, certainly a close race so far as we see Hydra move into the Ginso tree, or Jinso tree, depending on how you want to pronounce it. It is the first dungeon of the game, and as we like to say, it is a very vertical dungeon. It tests primarily your jumping, double jumping, and wall jumping skills as a series of sort of trials for most of the skills that you've acquired so far.
Yeah, absolutely. So Hydra's going to be showcasing off a really cool trick, which is known as telehopping. Every time he sends through this teleporter, he's going to be refreshing his double jump. Going to be getting up there, skipping a few cycles there. That's a really cool trick. Nice showcase, Hydra.
Yeah, very difficult. Now, that damage he took was intentional. He's going to be taking some intentional deaths and stuff later on. But I want to take a moment real quick as we have a moment here and point out that Hydra and Sigma are both playing on keyboard and mouse throughout this run, whereas Vuljin and Terra are both using controller for the most part, but will also be using keyboard and mouse at various points.
Right, and so Hydra we see here moving through a bit of a puzzle room. You're supposed to solve this with 2 of these redirect blocks, but you can solve them with 1. These rooms are pretty hairy. Good job by Vuljin there. If you direct your attention to the top right, we're going to see Hydra move into the first mini-boss of Ginso. Muffin, what is noteworthy about this mini-boss?
So this mini-boss can spawn at a bunch of different locations as this is going to be burrowing back into the ground and going to different parts. But there's a 1-frame tail, that's 1/60th of a second, that our runners can lock into to see where it's going to go next. So using some really precise, ooh, so close, mashing with that sign attack, he's going to be able to kill that mini boss off really, really quickly.
Yeah, Hydra had a 5-cycle fight there, which is pretty much average, what we tend to expect out of the runners. It was a tiny bit slow. It seemed like he might have blocked some of the spawns, but time to move on now, and we're going to talk about these keystones that he needs to pick up. Once again, keystones open doors, and they open any door that requires keystones. They are not unique to specific doors. That's going to be pretty important coming up soon. Meanwhile, Hydra first going to be making his way and taking damage and get ready for another ghost door death, intentional death to skip the animation of this door.
Yeah, so here we go. Hydra's going to be picking up probably the most memorable skill in Ori and the Blind Forest. So if you've ever played this game casually, you definitely know it. It's Bash. So Bash is really cool because it's going to allow our runners to lock onto objects such as these lanterns here. Then boom, it's going to throw Ori into the direction that the arrow points, and then throw the enemy or the projectile or object in the opposite direction.
Right, so we're going to see Bash used to not only solve puzzles, but for some combat pretty shortly. Coming up next, so we have another very interesting and very important trick in the run. Again, top right is Hydra in the lead right now. We're going to see him do a trick known as key dupe, where he's going to be duplicating a handful of these keystones. As we've mentioned a few times, keystones can be used to open any door, so the goal here is to exit Ginso with some extra keystones. What Hydra's going to do is going to pick up 3, not 4 keystones, and he's going to go up top, put 3 keystones in the door, and take an intentional death with luck. That trick is harder than it looks.
Nice.
Well done by Hydra. He's going to rekindle his save, which will respawn the keys in the world a second time. So Hydra's going to be collecting a total of 7 keystones here, not 4. By the time he puts 4 back in the door, he'll be leaving with 3 extra keystones, which is going to save quite a bit of time later on.
Yeah, and he's also going for a little nice hyperspeed trick here. He did get it, so he got to speed through that area quickly. Now, as he finishes up this mini-boss, I want to point out a very big route difference that happened about 3 or so months ago. We used to go upwards from here, which is what the game wants you to do, and complete the dungeon. Every dungeon completes with an escape sequence. And unfortunately, even though it's really cool, we're not going to be doing that in this run. We've now changed up the route, and Hydra's going to be teleporting back to Moon Grotto. He's going to be picking up some experience along the way, and then he's going to be heading towards the exact same place that the Ginso Tree escape would send you, Thornfelt Swamp.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. So at the end of that escape sequence, you get teleported.
Oh, quick death from Hydra. That's not too bad. He's going to maintain his lead from that.
Yeah, nicely done. He's going to go for it. Oh, it takes a little bit of damage, but gets a level up in time. So Hydra is going to be a little bit low on health, maybe. Okay, he's going to get up there, get the experience as he heads to this upcoming trick. That being said, though, Hydra now is going up to do a save anywhere and then do some blind movement. Grim, break it down for me.
Absolutely. This is one of the coolest tricks in the run, and it's what allows us to skip the Ginso escape, which, by the way, is going to keep water poison for the rest of the run. Very, very important. You're going to see Hydra do a bit of blind movement as this cutscene plays out of order. When the camera pans back to Hydra, he's going to use a frog to break 2 different barricades in a sequence break to get into Swamp. But to do that, he has to position this frog very accurately. There's 1 bash, 2 bash. He's going to send some more up here. He's going to be standing on top of this little plant, baiting 1 shot. Well done. He's going to be baiting another shot, and that's okay. A little bit of time. He'll go grab another shot. As it comes down, he'll also be grabbing the ability cell. Remember that our experience route for this game is not done yet. Well done to break the barricade.
Nice job from Hydra. And now take a look in the bottom left, because Vulcan still in second is taking his opportunity at this next. He does it a slightly different way because he is playing on a controller, and his shot phased through the bottom of the ground, unfortunately. But he's going to now bait a second one. He has to make sure that he gets the height of the shot all the way up to the ceiling. He made it through.
Yeah.
Sigma up next.
All right. Well done. That trick is quite a bit harder than it looks. Hydra again in the top right, still in first place, coming up to our next skill, which is known as Stomp. By the way, Sigma in the top left getting his attempt at the swamp entry. Let's see how he can do it. Well done with a double bash.
All right, here we go. Hydra's going to be working his way out of Stomp Tree. So Stomp is a really fascinating ability. Pretty simple. It's going to allow our runners to go downwards really, really quickly, as well as have a nice damaging attack. And now we see, for a quick race update, Hydra is still in first place with Bulletin close on his heels, now just getting to the tree with Sigma heading up to Stomp Tree in third, and then Terra in the bottom right is making up some distance as he goes for his swamp entry.
Right, Hydra's going to take a quick dip in the water, even though it's still poison, and grab a bit of extra experience as level up, refill his health anyway. He's going to be using the same frog a second time. Ooh. That's okay, a little bit rough. He'll be able to take a bit of a slower route, although that is going to give Vulcan and Sigma a chance to catch up. He needs 1 more ability cell, which is out of his reach unless he has something to bash off of. Well done by Terra.
Terra made his way into Swamp. Vuligin, again, now making his way over to the ability cell. We'll see how he does. He did a nicer job there, so he's caught up quite a bit of time on Hydra now. It's right on his heels. But first, Hydra in the top right is about to come up to a trick we call Kuro cutscene skip. If all goes well, you will not notice a single thing happen. There's a cutscene trigger. He's going to do a precise bash to dodge here, and it looks like he made it.
Well
so
done.
nothing happened at all.
But here we go. Looks like Vuligin in the bottom left.
Vuligin missed, so he's going to be reloading and taking a second attempt at this. We'll see how he does on this next one as Hydra's making his way to this 5th energy cell.
Right, so this 5th energy cell is the last one we'll be getting. Throughout this run, we'll be using... Well done, well done. Throughout this run, we'll be using energy primarily for extra speed. You're going to see Hydra make another quick save. Whenever you see an exit and reload, it's almost always to skip a cutscene. This is going to pretty quickly bring Hydra up to our next skill.
Yeah, and so we see Sigma now. Nice, he gets through it. Well done. But this next upcoming skill, normally we get it 3rd, but actually we're going to be picking it up 7th. So here it is, Charge Flame. It's not going to be too useful except for getting some additional abilities. That being said, we're going to see another save anywhere in the top right end Hydra screen. This is a great time for another donation.
I have $150 from Maximilian, who says, at this point I am donating because I'm really enjoying the silly prize presentation. Spikes, Vegeta, and the other hosts are a treat. I also have $30 from The Matter, who says, watching AGDQ with my newborn son, hoping that he can grow up in a world that is cancer-free.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Yeah. All right, so Hydra just picked up his a really cool ability known as Charge Dash. Charge Dash is going to allow us to modify Dash in order to spend energy in order to change Dash into a homing attack. We can use this in the air as well, and it's going to do some really crazy things through the run. Also, we can refund that energy, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. But, oh, that being said, Grim, upcoming here is going to be a really cool trick known as Fast Stompless.
This trick is wonderful. So what Fast Stompless is, it's not a sequence break exactly, it's a bit of a shortcut to get to the next skill. What you're supposed to do for the next skill known as Kuro's Feather is to stomp a rock in order to drop it onto Kuro's head and trigger a cutscene. We're not going to do that. Instead, you're going to see Hydra grab a spider projectile, bash it at a precise angle, then dash out of the way in order to despawn something that's in the way. He's going to do a stomp stall in midair, make his way up to an ability cell, dash to left, and got it. No, he did not get it.
Yes!
Well done.
All right.
That warps Hydra right into the cutscene, and now he's very close to picking up Feather. Feather is an ability that's going to allow our runners to glide, descend slowly, basically, and the game expects you to use that in order to move left and go towards the second dungeon, get the key and go to the second
Yeah, here we
dungeon.
go, Vuligin going for the cell, and he gets it! Yes, Vula! Nice, dude. Sigma is also on Fast Stompless.
And Hydra now is going to be using a rocket jump, which is a method of canceling the charge dash to gain a lot of height very quickly. He's now going to be manipulating these birds to do a sequence break into an area that normally has a chamber of wind in it. And it looks like he was through first try.
Yes, dude. Way to go. All right, Hydra is now in sorrow, but oh my goodness, all of these spikes deal terrible, terrible damage. That being said, though, in this area, we can actually break these floors in really creative fashion. So we're going to be able to get to the next skill tree a little bit quicker.
Right, this next skill we're coming up to on Hydra's screen again in the top right is known as Charge Jump. It's going to allow us to charge and jump up, which can do some damage and also just lets us get a bit more height. By the way, Sigma and Vula both getting the double bash attempts. Good job by Vuligin getting through. And it looks like Sigma's right there as well. Well done.
Both getting Sarabash right immediately.
Wow.
Terra's going to be taking his attempt at Fast Stompless while Hydra's picking up Charge Dash. Let's see, or Charge Jump rather. Terra did not get it, so that's going to lose him some time. He's going to have to either try again or opt for the intended route. Now Hydra has now gotten Charge Jump, which allows him to jump up very quickly and do damage with his jump, and he's going to be doing another trick for him.
Now, this trick is known as Terra Break, one of many skills named after Terra. That death was intentional by Hydra. He's going to take a death after spending a point. You might be difficult to see, but he actually broke another barricade, which is supposed to be broken from the top. From here, he'll be floating up to the top of Star Pass to pick up the key to the third dungeon in the game, which is known as the Sunstone.
Yeah, as we're coming up to the Sunstone, they're going to skip a cutscene, pick up that key that will give them, again, access to the third dungeon. And with that, we have time for one donation as we're about to head into our incentive.
I have $15 from Griffs99, who says, good luck everyone at the race, commentary and couch, and please Hydra, don't soft laugh. Hashtag Team Terra.
All right, thanks, Griffs. Griffs a member of the Ori community. But now, all right, we have Sunstone. This is going to get us access to the final dungeon in the run. But that being said, we still have some more skill trees to grab. Grim, what are we doing right now?
So you're going to see Hydra quickly stomping down, stomping being a way to move downward faster than falling due to gravity normally, having a bit of trouble with that platform. Our incentive is quickly coming up at the bottom. It's a bit of an Easter egg. You're going to see Hydra very shortly dash off to the left and then grab a frog and throw it off a cliff.
All right, here we go.
Hydra also did a rocket jump upside down. We like to call it a meteor kick to get very quickly downwards off of our Wilhelm frog. Now he's in Misty Woods now, which is normally where we pick up the key to our second dungeon, and this area is somewhat of a maze, but he's going to be doing a lot of fancy movement because he knows exactly how the maze works. He's going to be using a lot of charge dashes and canceling the energy that it costs, getting it refunded by bashing and stomping.
Dude, that frog is so funny. All right, yeah, awesome. So Misty's really fascinating area because it's going to really showcase off all these mechanics and skills that we've been collecting throughout the run. That being said, Charge Dash requires energy, but allows us to move faster. So not taking safety saves and Charge Dashing through areas can make this really spooky, but wow, Hydra's putting on a clinic and is going to get to the next tree.
This is some of my favorite movement in the run coming up here, Grim.
Absolutely, mine too. So we're going to quickly see Hydra pick up Climb. It's sort of an upgraded wall jump. Misty Woods, as Hobbs said, is one of his favorite, and I think all of our favorite areas of the run. The reason is that Misty Woods is a bit of a showcase. There are a total of 11 skills in or in the Blind Forest DE. We currently have 10 of them. We have all the energy we're going to get, and we have almost all of the health. So this area, even though our runners are probably going to make it look like a breeze, is actually very difficult. All of these spikes here are very, very dangerous. All of these lasers are insta-kill, and they're going to be using all of their energy to just go as fast as they possibly can.
Yeah, Hydra, again, still in the lead. Want to give you a quick race update. Vuligin is still in second. He's now picking up Climb, so he's got 10 of his 11 skills as well. Sigma not far behind at all, picking up next, and Terra is grabbing his Sunstone.
All right, and Hydra just took 2 damage there from the spike. So if he takes, whoa!
Saved himself there.
Yeah. Oh man, and this is why this area is so scary, especially this mini boss strat that's going to be coming up. So up here, crazy rocket jumps coming from Hydra. Oh, he's going for it.
He has no health. If he hits any of these spikes, he's going to die. And he made it.
Wow.
It's not over yet, folks. The movement does not stop. He's coming up to mini boss, which will normally actually be 2 mini bosses. If he does this right, you won't even see him. And there, it's already gone.
That's incredible. Very well done. We're going to see Sigma and Fula get their attempts at it before long as well. Hydra's going to move off to the left. The item here he gets is supposed to give him access to the key to the second dungeon. Remember, we already have the keys to the first and third. We will be skipping that item entirely because there's no skill in Forlorn Ruins. We actually will not be going there in the speedrun. So if you enjoy the Forlorn music like I do, I'm sorry, you're out of luck for this run.
Yeah, and now Hydra is making his way completely out of Misty Woods, and he's heading back to a teleporter. Remember that teleporter, or that Black Root Burrows area that we went to earlier? Well, we're going back there again because it actually houses our final skill in the run.
Yeah, absolutely. We still see Sigma and Vula and Terra are going to be working their way through Misty, but boom, Sigma just cleared out the mini boss, and so did Vula. So really close fighting race for second place, but also these last couple minutes of the run, Grim, are just so packed with skills, and just all of this movement is really, really hard to micro-optimize and risks our runners from taking unintentional deaths. None of these runners are out of the race yet.
Ori is not over until it's over. Hydra, the madman, is moving through Black Root Burrows a second time with his ability menu open through a series of insta-kill lasers, skipping a cutscene that saves him a bit of energy so that he can use even more of it for extra skills. That's going to bring him to our 11th and final skill of the run.
Yeah, this is Light Grenade. This is, again, our last skill of the run, which means as soon as we grab this, we're just going to the end of the game. And Light Grenade normally is used to open secret areas and deal some damage to enemies, but we're going to use it in some creative fashions in order to do a frame-perfect trick that Hydra's going to show off immediately here called a grenade jump to gain a lot of speed very quickly.
Yes, dude.
Fantastic.
Beautiful job from Hydra there. Now he has to worry about these cycles. Wow, almost dying to that laser there, but able to react and dodge it in time.
Yeah, here we go. He's coming up to the next laser. Whoa, that was so close. Nicely done from Hydra. But that being said, if you remember, yeah, that's right. We skipped Gitso Tree Escape, so water in the final escape is still going to be poison. So there we go, picking up some extra health for Hydra that's absolutely necessary. He's going to be teleporting to Thornfeld Swamp.
So from here, this Thornfell Swamp teleporter we activated shortly before the first dungeon, way earlier in the run. We're going to be dashing off to the left as quickly as possible. For a quick race update, we see Sigma making it to Light Grenade as well. Vuligin just seconds behind, and Terra still in Misty Woods with a bit of a nasty death earlier.
Yeah, so Sigma has actually taken second place away. He caught up during that movement out of Misty Woods. But Hydra not going for an optional 6 health cell here means that he's going to have a hard time in that final escape. But here comes some very fancy movement from him, just charge dashing all the way over all this instant kill lava.
So coming coming up next is one of the coolest tricks in the run. We're quickly approaching an area known as Mount Horu. It is the third dungeon of the game. Spoiler alert, we will be doing none of it. Still going for these grenade jumps. That's fantastic. So coming up next, as I mentioned, is a trick known as Door Warp. What's going to happen is Hydra's going to enter this dungeon, and then the game, after a short cutscene, will autosave. From there, Hydra's going to exit and reload, and what he has to do is press up to enter the door on the frame the game loads. That means at 60 FPS, he has 0.016 seconds to get this. Let's see if he can get it first try.
And
Well done!
oh my God! Wow!
All right. All right, so this brings us quickly to the final escape. It is the culmination of everything that we've gotten in this run so far. Muffin, take it away.
Unbelievable. What a showcase from Hydra in this ladder game here as he's going into the final escape. It's so easy to die in this section because we only have 5 health. And so all of this fire, that's right, it's still hot. Those spikes are spiky. So Hydra cannot take any damage as he's going through this area. And so here we go, we're gonna see some charged dashes as he's gonna be stomping the floor, coming up to these lanterns to bash up and off of it as Sigma now going for Door Warp as well in the top left. Hydra going through this area. Oh yes, okay, bashing off the elemental. Oh no, but that's right, water is poisonous. Don't drink that, you'll get GD flu. All right. Yeah, here we go, these fishes can deal damage.
Yes.
He gets out.
There's one more trick remaining. He had to skip a cutscene here from Kuro, and now he's going to be lining up one more grenade jump. If he fails this, this could soft lock his game. Very precise location. He sets up for his first attempt here.
Come on,
Here we
Hydra.
go. One frame trick.
Yes,
And he
already.
gets it. He's through.
Fantastic.
Hydra is going to be finishing the game very shortly. He just skipped a large portion of the final cutscene, but let's take a look at our other racers. Sigma is into the final escape, and he will be taking his attempt momentarily. Vuligin, very close, so a death from Sigma will actually put Vuligin in the lead, and Terra is still over at Light Grenade, so he's heading over to Horu soon.
Yeah, Vuligin already realizing that he's been kicked off the games committee. Have you watched the interview?
All right, so Hydra in the top right, time is coming up very shortly. We will call it out. It'll be about 6 seconds from now. He just has to waddle to the right a little bit with Naru, and time.
All right. Wow. Well
Now,
done. All right.
Sigma taking his attempt at grenade jump here. He misses one time. He's going to try again. This is very difficult, and it can cost him energy because if he's next
Nice.
attempt, and he's
Fantastic.
good.
Yes,
He's out.
Sigma.
All right, so Hydra taking first place. Sigma will take second. Pay attention to the bottom left screen. Vuligin made it out of the poison water, still has to do this frame-perfect grenade jump. Remember that if done incorrectly, it has the potential to soft lock and force a repeat of the entire escape.
He also switched from controller to keyboard and mouse just for this trick.
Yeah, here we go. All right, Vuligin. Now he's going to be lining up, drawing the line, and wow.
He's through!
Yes. All right, but keep your eyes peeled in the top left. Time is going to be coming up for Sigma in just a couple of seconds. All right.
Get ready on that. Again, Naru, our character that we normally would know something about, but we've skipped everything with him or with her from now on. And as Sigma has time.
Wow.
All right.
Terra now in the bottom right has opted for a safety health cell here. He wants to make sure he catches up here as best as he can, and he's going to be making his way to the final escape shortly.
We're going to see time coming up for Vuligin as well on the bottom left. He has to walk to the right just as the others. The moment that Vuligin finishes, do pay attention to Terra as he takes his door up. Attempt.
Terra did a frame-perfect trick there named after him called a Terra jump. That was pretty excellent.
Wait.
What happened to Vuligin?
What, Vula, what did you do? Did Hydra touch your computer, Vula? What?
Vuligin is either in the cutscene right now or is actually soft-locked. I'm not sure what has happened.
Oh, stop block.
It appears Vuligin might have soft-locked.
Oh, the race for third is on.
But his
Oh, Terra gets door warp.
I don't know what's happening because Vuligin splits that seem to have. Vuligin says that the auto splitter has finished, so his game just didn't load the cutscene. I'm not exactly sure what happened with that. I think he's gonna maybe do it again, but we're gonna see Terra coming up.
Vuligin, would you verify that run on the leaderboard? Let's be honest, man.
All right, so we have one runner left. 1, 2, and 3 are done, but Terra's not out of the woods yet. As Muffin mentioned earlier, Terra has to make it through this entire escape sequence without taking damage because he needs all his health in order to survive the poison water.
And Vuligin wants to prove that he can do this final escape and do that final trick, even if his run is already completed. So he's gonna be taking one more shot at it for you at home who don't believe him.
All right, bottom right-hand corner. Terra's trying to avoid getting GD flu. Gonna be bashing off this fish. Nice, makes it through.
Yeah, and again, Kuro, the enemy here, is supposed to trigger in this area, but he skipped the cutscene trigger for it in order to have more time to line up the shot. Going to be taking his best attempt here, and he's through first. No, he's start, Terra, it's start!
We may see Vuljin take another victory over Terra.
Terra, because Ori turned to the left, we knew that the game would soft lock if he had allowed that to continue. So he had to react quickly in order to reload his game and go for the final escape again. That just means that he was very barely off of his positioning on that wall.
Yeah, we're not joking when we say this is a 1/60th of a second trick. Not only that, but the position of the trick is super important. So very easy to soft lock and lose pretty much a minute in that case.
Vuljin coming up on another attempt at grenade jump. Let's see if he gets it successfully or soft locks like Terra did, making it look easy.
Yeah.
It looks like he's through. I hope so.
Yeah.
We'll have to find out this time. Hopefully time should be coming up for Vuljin shortly. This time he left the UI on to make sure the cutscene played. And Terra will be making his way through that poison water again. He did a great job through the last final escape, just the final trick really tripping him up. So we'll have to see how he deals with it this time.
Yeah, here we go. Now Terra's going to be feathering up as time is going to be coming up for Vuljin. So make sure you keep track of both the bottom left and the bottom right. All right, Terra going up for grenade jump. All right, he misses it once as Naru is about to start walking. But here we go, Terra, two
Terra
misses.
misses it twice. Get ready for time on Vuljin.
All right, Terra gets it.
Yes.
And Vuljin is doing some hops.
Oh, those optimizations.
Nice job from Terra there. Vuljin is waiting for his buddy here, I
Oh my
think.
God, Vuljin, the
has
BM is so real.
He's decided to hop around a bit.
We have a race for third and fourth. Who's going to win?
Oh my goodness, J-Hobbs, this race is so close. That's right, if you hold the A key, it's gonna move Vul to the left. But no, that's not what he wants to do. Let's see if he decides to move to the right.
And you know what?
C.
This game is all about love and friendship, and I think Vuljin just wants to finish here with his buddy. But his buddy here, rather. And here we go, time for both is coming up now.
Time.
It's a tie for third. Wow.
What an unbelievable race here, folks, that we had today. We got the that's never happened before of our dreams, and we had an excellent set of runs from all four of our runners here. But that's going to be pretty much it for us. What did you guys think, real quick, about how that went in the early game when it was just trading back and forth all the time?
I was very, very pleased personally that we had such a close game for quite a while. We did see a pretty rough death from Terra early on, but for the most part, even getting into the end of Ginso, everyone is very close for quite a long time. That's not an easy feat.
Yeah, absolutely. And so it was really cool seeing all of our runners be very, very close all the way up to Frankie Walk. And then sort of as we headed to the mid game, things started to space out, right?
Yeah, absolutely, and we're going to be moving on here so you can continue on with the marathon here. But just real quick, we want to talk about something we got coming up for the Ori community. If you were a fan of this race and you want to start joining.
Yeah, absolutely. So after the last AGDQ performance, we actually threw on an all-skills tournament, and I think one of the coolest parts of it was to see all of the strats and stuff that came out of it, but also how many new runners coming up. So we are very excited to announce with a video that you can find on the speedrun.com/OriDE. And over there, you can see the video for the tournament.
We have a fantastic community here. Absolutely check out the speedrun.com page along with the Discord, which is linked from there. We are a very welcoming community. We'd love to see new entrants.
There's a pretty cool hype video as well, but that's pretty much going to do it for us, folks. I hope you all enjoyed. I hope we got some new Ori and the Blind Forest fans out there, and keep sticking around, because if you liked Muffin's voice, he's actually going to be helping out for the Hyperlight Drifter commentary as well.
Oh, yeah.
Can we get one more round of applause for our runners? That was fantastic.
Wow, guys. What a race. What a race.
Thank you for having us. Take it away, Railcoon.
All right, once again, let's give a big thanks to our commentators for that race, Grimelios, J-Hobbs, and Covert Muffin. So if you could just extend that round of applause just a bit for those guys for doing a great job, that would be really great. And to follow up on that thought, I have a $200 donation for Darktronico, who says, "This is seriously some of the best race commentary GDQ has ever had. Thank you for being so knowledgeable and well prepared to share all of the amazing tricks in Ori and the Blind Forest. What an exciting race." And thank you, you are so correct. Those three worked so hard to make sure they were able to get this going that well. few other donations that I have to read here. I have a $2018 donation from player A and B. There's no comment attached to that, so thanks very much for that large donation. We also have a $30 anonymous donation that says, does Sen ever sleep, or did you just stay up all week finding these great prizes? I'm not entirely sure when he sleeps. I know he does, but I've never seen it myself. So keep that in mind. We have a $30 donation from Rhyme that says, amazing event run by amazing people. Good job for all the hard work. Inward Chaos donated $150. It says, so hyped for the Ori run. It's been too long since the last tournament. I can't choose a runner to cheer for, as all four are amazing at this game, so good luck to all the runners. Well, as the commentators just told us, there is a tournament coming up, so just tune into that thread on speedrun.com. You can find the details. Tangram donated $30. It says, all I can give this year, but always happy to give to a good cause and a great event with a great crew. Keep it up. As always, donate what you can. If you can't spare anything, just spread the word on social media. Tell people about this event. Every little bit really does help. I know you hear that a lot, but if you go to our tracker on gamesdonequick.com, it does track the average donation amount, and it is much smaller than what you would anticipate. I also have $50 from Duel224. It says, Fulgen's message moved me to donate. Best of luck on the run, and I wish you and your family all the best. P.S. Got to see that Monkey Ball Task run. All hail TaskBot. Speaking of the Monkey Ball Task run, Monkey Ball Task is currently sitting at 7,531 out of the 40,000 it needs. So you guys are doing amazing progress on that, but I would like to point out that the Super Monkey Ball Master Stages still needs about $1,400 to go before that's met. So why don't we finish that off before we keep going on the TaskBot train? Maybe get that finished. We have a few other upcoming donation incentives that need a little bit of help as well. Spelunky, the Secret Sloth Damsel, is just under $900 to go. And with that, it really is just those two donations before the Monkey Ball Task run. So let's finish off the Sloth Damsel, just $800 something. Super Monkey Ball Master Stages needs about $1,400, and then we can make that big push for the Super Monkey Ball Task run. I have $200 from the Lonely Boson, who says, lost track of number of deaths, but here is close enough at 5 per death. Goes to Hydra's Choice. Thank you very much, Boson. I have $20